You could never really get across the intensity of that crazy day. The Browns, who everyone knows are all about complicated stuff, with the polygamous thing and all their family drama out in the open, were together for what should have been a happy day, a wedding. But by the end of it, it was one of the most talked about moments ever on Sister Wives. And right smack in the middle of it was Janelle Brown, the wife who's always been good at being nice, patient, and really honest all at the same time. For years, we've watched the Browns deal with super weird relationships. Tons of wives, everyone watching them all the time, and living their lives on TV makes things tense, even when they're smiling. Janelle, one of Kody Brown's most popular wives, has always seemed like the peacemaker, calm, smart, and understanding. But even the calmest people have their limits, and this wedding was going to push Janelle way past hers, in a way you couldn't even imagine. The night started like any big family party. The place looked amazing. Shiny chandeliers bouncing light all over fancy tables, people in nice clothes chatting, and photographers trying to get good shots without being too obvious. Everyone was there. Family, friends, people who knew them. And they all knew the cameras were catching everything they did. But what most people didn't see coming was that one little thing would change everything. Kody Brown, being Kody, had a special gift for Janelle picked out for the wedding. He meant it to be like the best gift ever, a really big, expensive thing to prove how much he loved her. At first glance, it looked perfect. If you didn't know them, it was like a dream gift. Perfectly wrapped, shiny ribbons, fancy packaging, and just screaming money. But anyone who knew the Browns, especially Janelle, knew that things weren't always how they seemed. For months, Janelle had been watching Kody and feeling a mix of patient and let down. He would do things, but they didn't feel personal or like he got her at all. He spent money, sure, but he didn't seem to care about the feelings in their relationship. So, the gift he was planning for this wedding, while big and showy, felt like that exact same thing. It was a look at me kind of gift, but it totally missed what Janelle really cared about. Before the wedding, everyone in the family and people who watched the show were talking about it. Some wondered, is Janelle finally going to say something? Others thought she'd just smile and take the gift, like she usually did. But anyone who knew Janelle knew she's always been strong, smart, and brave, and she wasn't going to let this slide. After the wedding, everyone sat down to party. There was laughter, glasses clinking, people talking, but you could feel the tension building. Then the moment came that everyone had been waiting for. The wedding toast. Usually, it's to say nice things and wish people well. And for Kody, it was a chance to be the center of attention in front of all his wives and family. Janelle stood there, calm and collected. But inside, her brain was going a mile a minute. She knew what she had to do. She had seen Kody's stunts before, thought about what he was really trying to do, and realized that tonight was her chance, not just to talk, but to make a statement. The toast started like normal. Kody, standing tall, raised his glass and smiled like he thought he was being charming. People watched politely, some nodding, others trying to smile even though they were nervous. Then it was time for the gifts. Kody gave Janelle the wedding gift, all proud of himself. "This is for you, my dear," he said sweetly, waiting for her to be grateful, smile, and maybe even be a little wowed. The gift was fancy, for sure expensive, and wrapped perfectly, like he always did. Most people probably thought it was the perfect gift. But Janelle's eyes said something else. She looked at the gift closely, noticing that it wasn't personal at all, like he hadn't really put any thought into it and didn't really get her. It wasn't about the price or how shiny it was. It was about what it meant. And to her, The message was clear. Kody had given her something big, but it meant nothing. Then Janelle did something that shocked everyone. She gave the gift back. People gasped. Some whispered, wondering if they'd just seen a major wedding no-no. Others were frozen, eyes wide, like they couldn't believe it. The cameras got it all. The shock, the disbelief, and the tension that was so thick you could cut it. Kody's smile disappeared. He stopped looking so proud and sure of himself and just looked confused. But Janelle didn't wait. She didn't stumble over her words or change her mind. She explained why she was doing it. Not to embarrass Kody, but to say what she felt and make a point that needed to be made. She said that the gift didn't mean anything because it didn't have any thought or feeling behind it. All the fanciness couldn't hide that it was empty. The room went silent. Everyone was staring at her. People leaned in, trying to hear everything. You could feel this tension, the kind of silence that sticks with you. Janelle's move was more than just a reaction. It was her saying what she believed in, telling everyone that she wasn't going to settle for things that didn't mean anything. That was Janelle Brown being real, calm, clear, and strong. She proved that you can't buy respect and honesty. Kody's gift was flashy, but it didn't have the heart that makes something special. And by giving it back, Janelle reminded everyone that respect, caring, and real feelings are what matter most. From the start of the wedding, things were tense. Then everything blew up in a way no one expected. The gift, which was supposed to be about love, showed all the ways they'd been misunderstanding each other, ignoring feelings, and not saying what was on their minds for years. And Janelle, being brave and clear, used that moment to tell the truth about their family in a way that no one, including Kody, could ignore. Even when she was giving the gift back, she looked calm and unshaken. She didn't need to yell or argue or make a scene. What she did said more than words ever could. It was a bold move, meant to get attention, respect, and make people think. And it worked. People started whispering. Some quietly said they admired her. Others were shocked that she'd do that in public. And Kody, well, Kody was probably realizing that a gift, no matter how much it costs, can't replace actually caring and understanding someone. As the cameras kept rolling, showing everyone's stunned faces, Janelle stood quietly, making it clear that honesty, respect, and real feelings are what she values most. And in that moment, she wasn't just a wife standing up for herself, but someone who showed everyone what it means to be strong, honest, and brave. This crazy start set the tone for one of the most dramatic moments in Sister Wives history. It wasn't just about a gift or a toast. It was a reminder that even in families where things are super complicated, one person's courage can change everything. And so, the wedding, which started with everyone excited, will always be remembered not for the flowers or the decorations, but for the wife who refused to settle for anything less than respect, honesty, and real feelings. Kody wanted to make a splash at the wedding with Janelle's gift, something that would show how generous and loving he is. But with the Browns, it's never easy. Fans have watched Kody try these big, showy things for his wives for years. Fancy trips, pricey presents, the whole 9 yards. The reactions? Always a mixed bag. Some wives would smile and say thanks, but others thought it was all a bit fake or just ignored the show. This gift for Janelle was like Kody trying to outdo himself. It was wrapped perfectly, all shiny and screaming expensive, but Janelle felt like the thought behind it was missing. Sure, it looked great, but it was just more of Kody putting on a show instead of really getting her. Janelle had seen this pattern for ages. Kody used stuff to show love instead of actually connecting with her. Not that she hated gifts, She really liked thoughtful ones. She just cared more about the meaning than the price. A simple, heartfelt something would have meant way more than the fanciest gift ever. When Kody gave her the gift, she could feel everyone staring. The cameras were rolling, the fam was watching, and the other wives were super curious. She had to react somehow, but anything she did could cause problems. If she just said thanks, Kody would feel good, but she'd still be bummed. If she said something, she could start a fight, not just with Kody, but with everyone, since it was all being filmed. But Janelle doesn't care much about what things look like, or avoiding a bit of drama. She faces life head-on, with grace and courage, and does her own thing. She knew this gift was more than just an object. It showed the gap between them. It looked like Kody was being generous, but really, he was missing the point of being close and understanding. Everyone waited as Janelle looked over the gift. She checked out the wrapping, the stuff inside, and what it all meant. From the outside, it might seem like a sweet present, but she knew better. She'd been in this family forever. She saw right through it. Kody was just trying to make a gesture, not really thinking about her. The more she thought, the more she knew she couldn't just accept it. It would just keep Kody doing the same thing, and she was done with it. It wasn't about being ungrateful or causing a scene. It was about telling Kody, enough is enough. You can't buy real love and respect. You earn it with care and your time and attention. Then she did the unthinkable. Janelle gave the gift back. Everyone gasped. The cameras went wild. Her family froze, not sure if she'd just crossed a line or was trying to make a point. People whispered, staring with their mouths open. The mood totally changed, from happy celebration to oh crap, what's gonna happen now? Janelle had just taken control in a way no one saw coming. And Kody was caught off guard. He looked confused and surprised. He likes being the center of attention and getting praise, so Janelle's move messed with his plan. The gift was supposed to make him look good and get her thanks, and instead, it showed his flaws. Janelle was calm and spoke clearly. She wasn't trying to embarrass Kody or start a fight. She was just trying to tell him something he never seems to get. Doing something nice is about more than just flashing cash. This gift, she said, is nice, but it doesn't really mean anything. It's the thought and care that matters. Without that, even the most stuff you could buy is worthless. The room was silent. What she said was way more powerful than the gift, and caused more of an impact than anything before. By giving it back, Janelle wasn't just rejecting it. She was rejecting the shallow bullcrap. She was stepping up for herself, declaring what she believed in, and setting boundaries. This also showed a bigger issue within the Brown family. Wives are always handling multiple marriages, being in the public eye, and trying to live up to everyone's expectations. Some have gotten used to Kody's big gestures and being distant. Others, like Janelle, want something deeper. Returning the gift was her way of saying she won't settle for less than what she needs. This moment was noticed afar. Sister Wives fans quickly saw how huge this was. Social media blew up with chats, viewers going back and forth on what the gift meant, how Kody and his wives are, and what Janelle did. A lot of people cheered her on, saying she was brave and an example for setting boundaries. Others were amazed at how she kept her cool, making her point without yelling or starting a fight. The reaction by the other wives was diverse. Some quietly respected her courage, because they know it's difficult to call out Kody, especially in front of everyone, and they understood what she was trying to say. Others were apprehensive how Kody would react privately. Also, Kody had to possibly think, seeing that the extravagant gesture, regardless of how great it looked, could not replace devotion and closeness. This gift created conflict and became a memorable event, showing truths about the Browns' relationships, the expectation, and a wife stepping up. It strengthened what the audience already know about the lack of real consideration. Following the gift exchange, the room's mood became quieter, as those in attendance digest what just happened. The cameras continued to record, catching shock and conversations. The gift, from expensive to talking point, and lesson of telling the truth and Janelle's integrity. For Kody, the gift did not work. Instead, humility followed, while Janelle got to showcase her values. Last, people sought a moment of drama, a view with different family standards. It was a reminder about how courage and emotional honesty shapes families in complicated positions. The toast followed, and everyone absorbed the impact of the gift. It concerned the principle Janelle stood for and the challenges set to Kody and the family. The gift set the stage meant love, reflection, accountability, and change. It caused discussion and a reminder for a deeper meaning. It was an understanding between respect, understanding, and connectedness. End. Period. End. The room still buzzed after the whole gift thing. Cameras kept rolling, getting everyone's shocked faces and nervous chuckles. All eyes were glued to Janelle Brown, who just gave Kody back his super fancy wedding gift, right there, in front of everyone. He was totally speechless. You could cut the tension with a knife. The wedding toast, usually all about mushy words and good wishes, went a totally different way. This definitely wasn't your usual boring speech. This was Janelle's time to say what she really felt, something Kody and maybe even the rest of the family had been dodging for ages. Janelle stood in the middle of the room with champagne, looking at everyone. Friends, family, some random acquaintances of the Browns, all staring with a mix of nerves and excitement. Cameras zoomed in on her, but Janelle stayed cool and calm. Her voice was steady when she started talking. For years, she said, looking straight at Kody, we've celebrated stuff like this. Weddings, anniversaries, gifts, all that. But even with all the fancy stuff, something's been missing. She paused to let it sink in. The room got super quiet. Janelle's words were careful, but full of feeling. A gift, no matter how big or pricey, doesn't make up for being thoughtful. It doesn't make up for understanding, or really being there. And tonight, I think it's time to talk about what's really important in relationships. People gasped and whispered. Some guests gave each other looks, wondering how far she'd go. Others leaned in, interested. Kody actually looked unsure for once. His usual smile was gone. You could tell that Janelle had just taken over. Janelle went on, trying to be both honest and respectful. She didn't yell at Kody. She talked about what she valued most, being real, being thoughtful, and really paying attention to each other. Love isn't about money, fancy presents, or showing off. It's about how we really see each other, how we understand each other, how we care when nobody else is looking. The room was totally silent. Even people who knew the Browns' drama were surprised. Janelle wasn't just talking about a gift. She was talking about years of hidden feelings, things nobody said, and stuff they'd been ignoring. And she was saying it like someone who knew she was talking not just to Kody, but to the whole family. And all the viewers who watched their show. She kept talking, getting more direct, but still being fair. It's easy to buy something expensive. It's harder to really pay attention, to understand, to give your time and care. Those are the gifts that last. She raised her glass a little, like she was toasting not just the wedding, but a better way of doing things. One where actions and being real matter more than pretending. The reaction was big. People whispered, some nodded, and some looked awkward. Kody looked shocked, annoyed, and maybe a little like he was starting to get it. For years, he'd been giving big gifts to keep everyone happy, and now that wasn't working anymore. Janelle was pointing out something he couldn't ignore. The toast was more than just words. It was like a public fight. Janelle was taking something that many wives might feel, but not say, and turning it into something everyone understood. It wasn't just about Kody or the gift. It was about setting limits, being respectful, and being brave enough to ask for honesty in relationships. Later on, social media blew up. Fans of Sister Wives saw what Janelle was doing. People online were saying things like, "Finally, someone told him, Janelle's amazing. She just taught us that you can't buy respect." Others argued about whether Kody even got the message or if he'd just say she was being dramatic. Either way, the toast made an impression. In the family, it was also complicated. Some of the other wives, who'd gone through similar stuff with Kody, saw themselves in Janelle's speech. Some were proud of her. Others may be worried about what it would mean for Kody and Janelle, or among the wives. But everyone knew it was a big deal. Janelle had said what she felt, no apologies, and everyone was listening. Kody couldn't really say anything right then. He tried to look calm, but it wasn't working. He opened his mouth, maybe to argue or say something nice, but nothing came out. The gift was already gone, and the toast had hit harder than any gift could. It was a reality check, and he'd remember it for a while. Janelle's words also showed everyone something important. Relationships can't just be about what things look like. Families, marriages, even friendships. Gifts don't mean anything if you don't mean them and aren't really there. That courage and being real are better than any expensive thing. And she did it in front of everyone, without getting upset, losing her cool. Pause. What made the toast so good was that she was both strong and understanding. Janelle didn't attack Kody just to be mean. She didn't make him feel small. Instead, she talked about values, things everyone could get behind. It's not about blaming, she said. It's about understanding and getting better. If we want love to be real, we have to see it, hear it, and feel it. Otherwise, it's just noise. When the toast ended, the room was quiet for a second longer than it should have been. Glasses clinked, people said congratulations quietly, and some even smiled. Everyone knew. Janelle had changed things. What was supposed to be a wedding party had turned into a talk about being real and what's important in relationships. Even the cameras stayed on her. They showed how strong she looked, how sure of herself, and how much feeling was behind her words. This wasn't just a quick drama moment. It was about being honest and brave, and people would be watching it and talking about it for months. By the end of her toast, Janelle had done something amazing. She'd taken a normal thing, a wedding toast, and used it to say something really important. She'd taken back her voice, made the family think about things, and said how important it is to be real, and everyone in the room and all the fans watching understood. Kody looked totally stunned. The gift was gone, the toast had landed, and he'd learned a lesson. For the first time in years, he was in a situation where presents weren't enough. He had to think about being real, being honest, and being respectful, and he couldn't go back. As the room slowly went back to normal, people started whispering again. But this time they were admiring Janelle, wondering what would happen next, and talking about how brave she was. Social media exploded, and the news about the toast spread everywhere. Viewers said it was one of the biggest moments in Sister Wives history, a toast that didn't just celebrate love, but challenged it, questioned it, and demanded that it be real. The point was pretty clear. Janelle Brown hadn't just given a wedding speech. She'd taught a lesson about being brave, being real, and being honest about your feelings. In a family known for drama and being in the public eye, she'd created a moment that people would remember and talk about for years. And as the cameras kept rolling, getting everyone's shocked reactions, One thing was obvious. Janelle Brown had changed everything. She'd reminded everyone, including Kody, that real love and respect aren't about gifts or showing off, but about being thoughtful, being present, and being brave enough to say what you really think. The room was buzzing after Janelle Brown gave Kody back his pricey wedding gift and her toast. People were still trying to get their heads around what she'd said and how brave she was to do it. What was supposed to be a happy celebration turned into a total shocker, something no one there will ever forget. Right after the toast, everyone reacted. Some guests were whispering, totally stunned. "Did she really just do that?" one person asked, eyes wide. Others nodded, impressed by how honest she was in front of everyone. And the cameras kept rolling, catching every little thing. Kody was probably the most watched person. He thought he'd get praise, and everyone would just accept his gift. Instead, Janelle was super honest and messed up everything he was trying to do. He looked unsure of what to say or do. Janelle's actions didn't just get to Kody. It changed the whole family and everyone watching. Giving the gift back was like a big statement about being respected, actually being there for someone, and setting limits. For some of the other wives, it was like a wake-up call. Some thought about their own experiences, realizing they'd let things slide in the past. Others felt proud of Janelle for speaking up when it mattered. The moment quickly became a big deal for Sister Wives fans. Social media blew up with comments. People loved Janelle for being brave and smart, calling her an inspiration for setting boundaries and wanting realness in relationships. Comments poured in. Finally, someone told him off. "Janelle is awesome. She reminded us that you can't buy respect." It wasn't just the wedding guests reacting. It was the entire Sister Wives crowd. People online argued about what Janelle did, talking about her words when she returned the gift and what it all meant. For many, it was a key moment in the show, showing how important honesty, boundaries, and self-respect are in complicated families. In the family, reactions were mixed. Some of the other wives were surprised, but respected Janelle's guts. They knew how hard it was to stand up to Kody on camera, but things were tense. Some wives wondered how Kody would take it. Would he get the point, or would he act like it was nothing? Everyone was waiting to see what would happen next. Kody had to face some things himself. He acted like he was fine, but Janelle returning the gift and what she said couldn't be ignored. For ages, he'd been using fancy gifts to keep his marriages happy, thinking stuff could make up for not really caring. But Janelle showed that things don't replace real being there for someone, thinking of them or paying attention. For Janelle, it was different. She'd always been one of the more open wives, but this sort of made her a symbol of power, smarts, and strength. By setting her limits and saying no to something fake, she became an example to her family and fans. She showed everyone that respect, being there for someone, and thinking of them can't be bought. They have to be earned. The effects of the gift and toast lasted way past the wedding. Family members started thinking about how they treated each other. Some wondered if Kody would change and realize that gifts without meaning don't work anymore. The story of the gift and toast spread everywhere. News places, blogs, and entertainment sites talked about it. Headlines were about Janelle's bravery and the wedding drama, focusing on what people could learn from it. Clips from the wedding went viral, shared by fans who wanted to see the scene for themselves. Janelle's actions got people talking about marriage, relationships, and being emotionally smart. People from everywhere related to what she did. Some shared times when they'd gotten empty gifts or been in relationships where no one really cared. Others praised her for proving that standing up for what you feel is important. People online discussed how it wasn't about the gift, but about being clear, honest, and brave. Things that matter in any family or situation. The emotional stuff was tricky. Kody was shocked, embarrassed, and maybe thinking about things. Janelle felt strong, validated, and like she'd done something good. And the family felt tense, like things wouldn't be the same. Things had changed. Limits had been tested and set. And the word was out, showing up and being real were now a must in the Brown family. Even though the wedding went on, the moment stuck with everyone. Guests talked quietly, thinking about what had happened. Some said they liked Janelle's courage, while others wondered what Kody was really thinking. The cameras kept filming, capturing every little thing. Fans at home were hooked too. Social media was full of comments about Janelle's guts, Kody's face, and what it all meant for the family. The gift and toast were shared, talked about, and argued over non-stop. People said Janelle was inspiring. As time passed, the story just got bigger. Commentators and fans wondered what would happen next. Would Kody change? Would gifts be more thoughtful? How would the other wives react, and would Janelle inspire them to be honest too? These questions kept people talking and proved that what Janelle did had an effect way beyond the wedding. Basically, the gift and toast mess showed one thing: being brave, clear, and real can turn a moment into something bigger. Janelle Brown's choice to act and speak up changed her family, the guests and fans everywhere. It showed that being emotionally honest is better than any gift, and that standing up for yourself is a win. The wedding, which was supposed to be happy, became about truth, courage, and how one woman stood up for herself. That's the story that will last, a story about standing up and the effects of a moment that changed everything. Okay, here's the rewritten text. What happened that day had a big impact. Janelle Brown's decision to give back Kody's expensive wedding gift and her memorable toast caused a stir way beyond the party. Fans of Sister Wives saw it as more than just TV drama. It was something to learn from and think about. Right away, social media went crazy. Clips of Janelle returning the gift and her toast were shared all over. People talked about every word, gesture, and even Kody's face. Most people cheered Janelle on, praising her bravery, her understanding of emotions, and how real she was being. Comments popped up like, "Finally, someone told him how it is. Janelle is awesome. She's honest but nice about it. You can't put a price on respect," and Janelle just proved that. This is why we watch Sister Wives, to see real feelings, real guts. It wasn't just about entertainment. Plenty of viewers related to what Janelle did, sharing their own stories of dealing with empty gestures, attempts to show love with stuff, or partners who didn't get what love and respect really meant. What she did hit home because it showed that you can't buy real emotion, thoughtfulness, and care. You have to give them freely. Commentators and news outlets started breaking down the whole thing. Headlines like Janelle Brown's wedding toast stuns Kody Brown, the gift that changed everything for the Browns, and Sister Wives fans love Janelle for setting limits were everywhere. Analysts noted how Janelle talked to Kody directly without being mean and stood up for what she believed in, even though it was a tense situation. Inside the family, things changed too. Some of the other wives secretly admired Janelle, while others wondered if they had settled for less. Kody had to think about things after seeing that Janelle didn't appreciate his showy gift. It showed how far apart his intentions were from what his wives really needed. For Janelle, it was powerful. People already saw her as one of the smartest and most level-headed wives in the family, but this made her even more respected. She proved that being brave, clear, and having self-respect gets attention and earns respect, even in a family known for its drama. Viewers got that this wedding wasn't just a party. It was about drawing lines and being real. Janelle's actions started conversations about relationships. In online groups, people debated, is emotional presence more important than gifts? Do you need boundaries in any relationship, even when you love someone? Can being honest and brave change how a family works? These talks showed that what Janelle did went past just entertainment. It made people think. Many fans said they had accepted less in the past, but Janelle's example inspired them to stand up for what they needed. In a way, the wedding became a lesson in taking charge of your life, understanding emotions, and standing up for yourself. Even people who weren't fans saw the importance. Articles came out discussing how Janelle's actions challenged what people expect from wives, both in polygamist families and in general. She was praised for taking a stand without being rude or creating drama just for the show. She handled a tricky situation well, proving you can set limits, be honest, and stay classy all at once. Kody Brown was in a tough spot. As the head of the family, he had to deal with what Janelle did. The gift he meant to show love with was given back. The toast meant to celebrate love turned into a public look at his behavior. For the first time, he had to face that gifts without thought and real understanding aren't enough. Folks wondered if this would change how he treated relationships in the future. The other wives were affected too. Some admired Janelle's guts and were inspired by her. Others thought about their own experiences and realized they had accepted less than they deserved. The wedding wasn't just a celebration for one couple, but a moment of learning for the whole family. Janelle's actions also pointed out that real connection takes work, attention, and caring. No gift, no matter how fancy, can replace real understanding. She reminded everyone that love is shown through thoughtfulness, communication, and meaningful actions, not just showing off money. Fans started calling it things like the toast that shook Kody or Janelle's boundary moment, turning the wedding into a big topic. Memes, reaction videos, and analyses flooded social media, highlighting what she did. Some fans even thought this would change the show for good. The thing is, Janelle's message wasn't just for the Browns. People who didn't even watch Sister Wives related to what she said about respect, being brave enough to tell the truth, and valuing honesty over fake gestures. She turned a reality TV moment into something that taught about life, relationships, and taking control of your life. It also showed how complicated emotions can be in polygamist relationships. Some might see them as just dramatic, but Janelle's actions showed they're just as human as any relationship. With the same problems and hopes, she refused to accept something empty, showing her intelligence, emotional depth, and self-respect. As people kept talking online, the wedding became a symbol of guts and being real. Janelle's actions made viewers think about their own relationships and limits. Could they stand up for themselves too? Could they ask for thoughtfulness and real care in their relationships? Janelle showed that being honest, kind, and assertive can all happen at the same time and have a big impact. Basically, what happened after the wedding proved that Janelle Brown's bravery had a huge effect. She turned what could have been a forgettable moment into something important, something that challenged her family, inspired viewers, and taught a lesson that goes beyond reality TV. For Kody, it was a wake-up call. For the other wives, it was a time to think. For Janelle, it was a win. And for the audience, it was a lesson in being real, setting boundaries, and speaking your mind. This wedding, and Janelle's reaction, became a story about taking charge, being brave, and understanding emotions. It reminded viewers that gifts don't replace thoughtfulness, care, and real connection. You earn love and respect through intention, honesty, and standing up for what you believe in. What happened after was bigger than the wedding itself. Guests might remember the decorations and music, but they'd never forget the gift that was returned, the toast that said everything, and the woman who reminded everyone that being real is always better than showing off. As Sister Wives fans kept talking about this moment, one thing was clear. Janelle Brown changed the story for good. She proved that one act of courage can inspire millions and leave a lasting impact, both in a family and in the hearts of viewers everywhere.